Welcome to the Professor English podcast, where we don't just talk about English, we practice English. My name is Ryan, and I am your host. Today, we are going to practice using the phrasal verb something holds someone up, which means something delays someone, something makes someone late. As usual, instead of giving you long explanations, let's just jump right in and practice. If you are not sure how to use it now, don't worry. After we practice using it together, you will be much more comfortable with this phrase. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that if you prefer some visual help with this exercise, you can always see the video version on my YouTube channel, Professor English ESL Class. Now, let's dive in and start practicing English. Just repeat after me. The bank closed before Lisa arrived. The bank closed, the bank closed, the bank closed before Lisa arrived. Let's make a why question. How would you make a why question with that sentence? Why? Why did the bank close? Why did the bank close before she arrived? Why did the bank close before she arrived? Here is the reason: the traffic made her late. The traffic made her late. We can use the phrasal verb hold up here. We can say the traffic held her up. 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 The bank closed before she arrived because the traffic held her up. The traffic made her late. The bank closed before she arrived because the traffic held her up. All right, fantastic job. Let's try another example. Mary missed her flight. Can you repeat that? Mary missed her flight. Mr. missed her. Mr. Mary missed her flight. Mary missed her flight. Let's make a why question with that sentence. Why? Why did she? Why did she miss her flight? Miss her flight. Miss her flight. Why did she miss her flight? Why did she miss her flight? Here is the reason: the meeting made her late. The meeting made her late. Let's use hold up instead. The meeting held her up. The meeting held her up. She missed her flight. She missed her flight because the meeting held her up. The meeting held her up. Held her up. She missed her flight because the meeting held her up. She missed her flight because the meeting held her up. All right, you're doing a super duper job. Let's try another example. But before we do, I just want to remind you that if you find these exercises helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, Professor English ESL Class, so that you won't miss the next lesson. And if you are watching this video on YouTube, please take a moment to press the like button. It helps my channel so much and lets me know that you want to see more fluency and listening comprehension exercises just like this one. Now, let's keep practicing English. Mike and John were late for their dinner reservations. Mike and John were late for their dinner reservations. Can you repeat that? Mike and John were late. Mike and John were late. Mike and John were late for their dinner reservations. Let's make a why question. Why? Why were they? Why were they late? Why were they late for their dinner reservations? Why were they late? Why were they late for their dinner reservations? Here is the reason. Work made them late. Work made them late. How would you use hold up in this sentence? Work held them up. Work held them up. Work held them up. They were late for their dinner reservations because work held them up. Work held them up. Work held them up. Held them up. They were late for their dinner reservations because work held them up. All right, you're doing an amazing job. Let's try one more example. I didn't hand in my report on time. Hand in, that's another phrasal verb. That means to give officially. I didn't hand in my report on time. Let's make a why question with hand in my report. Why? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? Why didn't I hand in my report on time? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? Why didn't I hand in my report on time? Here is the reason. Waiting for some important documents made me late. Waiting for some important documents made me late. How would you use hold up in this situation? Waiting for some important documents held me up. Held me up. Held me up. Waiting for some important documents held me up. We can just say it. It held me up. It held me up. I didn't hand in my report on time. I didn't hand in my report on time because waiting for some documents held me up. I didn't hand in my report on time because it held me up. All right, you did an amazing job today, and you learned some fantastic English. Congratulations! I knew you could do it. Remember, practice makes perfect, so you should repeat this exercise several times, not just so that you can remember how to use the phrasal verb something holds someone up, but also to improve your listening and your speaking skills. It's been really fun practicing English with you today, and I hope to see you again real soon. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the like button. See you in the next video with more interesting words and phrases.